Yes, folks, it's John G. Sutton here. Tales from the jails. Do please like and subscribe. It's down there, folks. Yeah. I've just got back from my holiday. Christmas break. Went to the Lake District, a place called Bassenthwaite, which was very nice. We were looking out at Skiddaw, which is the big mountain there. Yeah, so I did all that. It was great fun. Absolutely. Family kind of thing, you know. Anyway, I'm going to talk today about the sentencing policy of HM prisons and the courts and all the rest of it, because the Ministry of Justice is just passing new registration, new guidelines for magistrates and judges that sentences of less than 12 months are going to be a thing of the past. Which is as it should be, really. I mean, if it's a serious offence, then and people have got to be excluded from society, then exclude them from society properly. Don't just take away 3 months or 6 months of their time, which will put them in prison, certainly. But it will also ruin their ability to maintain their work. It will possibly destroy their marriage. It's going to be sense to restrict the sentencing policies to actually putting somebody behind bars for a period of time that may enable them to rehabilitate, but not in the conditions that currently pertain in HM prisons. As we previously discussed here on numerous occasions, that is something that is a horror to behold. The massive overcrowding and the filth, dirt and degradation that we have in the Victorian dungeons that we laughingly call HM prisons. More like HM dungeons, that would be it, wouldn't it? Now, if you've seen the state of them, I think some of you who are watching this will have been in the prisons and seen what the system actually is. It basically, it's slinging people into a confined space and locking the door, and that's what they get. And sometimes it's for as long as 23 hours a day. Now, as I say, I've been away in the Lake District. I was rented a house there, and mostly we stayed in because it was raining and very, very windy. So we stayed in, and I had all the amenities. I had television, books, games and all that. But after a week, you start to think, it's time for me to get out there. But you can't do that when you're in prison. You're just in there banged up. So that actually doesn't rehabilitate you. It just drives you to the very edge of insanity, I would think. Well, certainly. Some of the inmates that I've seen suffering this really do find themselves extraordinarily tested by that. It's a deprivation, not only deprivation of liberty, but it's virtually of association. And the problem you've got, of course, is that you could be locked up, banged up with anybody. You could be twoed up with a male rapist. Could be. It does happen. I have when I was a hospital officer, dealt with a number of cases of inmates who have been raped by their cellmates, and it doesn't just damage them physically, which it certainly does do on occasions. It also damages the individuals psychologically, because from that moment on they feel, why on earth did that happen to me? Why was I raped by my cellmate? Why are these things happen? Anyway, as I said at the start, the sentencing policy of the courts is now going to be the minimum sentence that you can be handed down is 12 months. This is to obviously reduce the overcrowding in HM prisons. When you're putting people inside for non-payment of fines or paying the TV license or whatever other stupid reason that they've got. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the magistrates court, courts of law, they process up to 60 motoring offence fines every day. Every day they're open anyway. Imagine that. That's British justice, is it? Is it? Yeah? I went to court recently, seriously, for a speeding offence. I was supposed to be doing 35 miles an hour in a 30 zone. I don't know if you've tried sticking below 30 miles an hour, which I always do to the best of my ability, but you will eventually end up with a caravan behind you, because everybody wants to go more than 30 miles an hour. I don't know how they're managing in Wales with a 20 mile an hour. That will be difficult. But seriously, I went to court and I said, listen, I didn't do this. Where's the proof? They didn't have any proof. They said, oh, you've had the ability to look at this online. We sent you a link. It's not up to me to go looking for evidence, is it? It's up to the prosecution to produce the evidence. Where is your evidence? Do you know they didn't produce anything, and the magistrates just processed it. They said to me, well, what is your defence? I said, I'm an Englishman. I used the Gilbert and Sullivan argument, you know. For he is an Englishman. Yeah, he is an Englishman. I said, I'm an Englishman. If I say that I didn't do something, you have my word as an Englishman I didn't do it. Now, prove that I did. Oh, well, we've got a report here from the camera and said this, that, and the other. Bastard. It's just not worth talking to them, is it? Just pay whatever they want and get out. It's only money. They're ridiculous. But that's not British justice, is it? I did tell them that. Didn't do me any good, by the way. I don't think the magistrates liked it. But then again, the magistrates ain't doing the magistrate's job, are they? They're doing the rubber stamp job. Boom! Yeah. 100% record every day. 100% found guilty. Boom, there you are. That's not justice. That's more like a Russian oligarch's communistic maniac state kind of justice. Right, it's that time of day, folks. Grab your goat and go for it. That was for Larry, that bit. I'm going to read you a poem now. Here we are. This is about people coming round to your house, selling you things. I've got a big sign on the front of my house, a big metal sign. It says, no hawkers, no holy joes. The answer is no. You see, we were getting these Mormons coming round, knocking on my door. Verily I say unto you, oh, get out, you daft bastard, before I stick the nut on you. Here we are. This is Double Glazing Blues by John G. Sutton, by the way, and that's me. I was sitting in my living room watching the telly with my wife, drinking tea, scratching dog's belly, when a rat-tat-tat called me to the door. Can't seem to get peace anymore. I slipped back the catch. What did I see? A double glazing salesman staring in at me. We are in your area, was his opening line. He wore a neat dark suit with a smile like slime. He was carrying a window, an elaborate affair, conducting a survey for God knows where. He could save me money. It was really amazing. All I had to do was buy his double glazing. He talked of the beauty of UPVC, said he had a special offer and it was just for me. I said I didn't want it. He was having none of that. Said he'd come round tomorrow and we could have another chat. Now I was sitting in my living room stroking our cat when that double glazing salesman returned for the chat. But the patron saint of peddlers left him to his fate, and there's a double glazing salesman hanging from my gate. Double Glazing Blues by John G. Sutton. See you tomorrow. Oh, and don't forget, on the 9th of January, 7 p.m. here, we're having a live chat. I will be here. See you soon. Tales from the Jails.